All right, everyone. It is week 14, the week 14 edition of the Family Beatdown Fantasy Football League update show. This is our first week of the playoffs. But before we get into it, you know it's coming, Notre Dame fans. Quincy and I had a chance to go to the big game on Saturday, USC versus Notre Dame. We sat in the middle of the Notre Dame section and had the time of our lives as the Fighting Irish must have sent their JV team. Only put up 14 points. Had all the chances in the world, but just couldn't get it done against USC, who put up 49. Big win for the Trojans, 49-14. Both teams wrap up their regular season. They're waiting bowl bids. Interesting, looking at the Notre Dame record. You guys lost 5 of your last 6. Wow. That's a collapse of colossal proportions, considering you were one time a number 6 ranked team. Overrated. All right, enough of that until next year. So let's take a look at our week last week. Rebecca at 214 points. I think that's either the second or third highest single game point total of this entire league's history. Crushes Smell This, 214 to 131. Didn't even stand a chance. She knocks me out of the playoffs and finishes strong with, like I said, it's either the second or third highest point total ever. 142 for Blood, Sweat, and Beer was better than the 125 for the Rednecks. Dawn actually slipped down into third place with that loss. A little bit of a slide for her. She's now 9-4. She made the playoffs, but no problem. Blood, Sweat, and Beer improved to 8-5. She makes the playoffs as well. Big Blue dropped 104 to 211 for People of Color. So that makes second game of the year for Ryan to go over 200 points, and this is probably the number 4 highest point total ever in the history of the league. So good job for Ryan. He vaults into the number 2 position. Third Down for What hangs on, even though he lost 125 to 91. He hangs on with a playoff position, taking my spot. Jed, you're welcome. John David Booty Eaters. Who was going to pick this guy to be the number 1 team of the regular season? Alex wins 157 to 153 over Rick. Another example of Rick bringing out the guns when he needs to. And then to top it all off, Paula's Man Snips anchors the number 5 position with a 147 to 16 win over Grandpa. So that leaves 2 games this week. Let's go over the standings. As we said before, John David Booty Eaters is the regular season champion with a 10-3 record as the number 1 position. People of Color with a 6-game winning streak over the back half of the season moves into the number 2 position at 9-4. The Rednecks, who's just lost his 1 game as far as streaks go, coming in at number 3 at 9-4. Blood, Sweat, and Beer, number 4 at 8-5. Number 5, Paula's Man Snips at 8-5, and then Jed Derone, Third Down for What at 7-6. So the 2 games that we have this week are Blood, Sweat, and Beer versus Paula's Man Snips. That's a 143 to 131 projected win for Dani at this point. Dani's got Matt Stafford against Tampa Bay. It's a great matchup. Odell Beckham Jr. against Tennessee, another one. Ty Hilton against Cleveland, another one. Eddie Lacy against Atlanta. I'm looking for a big win for the Packers, but I think that's going to be a tough matchup. And you also got Arian Foster against Jacksonville. Man, you are loaded, girl. You're going to win this game, I think. For Tyson, Andrew Luck goes against Cleveland. Good matchup. Antonio Brown against Cincinnati. Eric Decker against Minnesota. Alfred Morris against St. Louis. Frank Gore against Oakland. Oakland, the only team in the NFL that makes the Rams look good with that 52-0 win. Man, Oakland sucks. I'm going to give the win to Dani. The other game that matters next week is going to be the Rednecks versus Third Down for What? Right now it's 137 to 128 in favor of Dawn. Drew Brees gets Carolina. Jordy Nelson gets Atlanta. I think Jordy's still going to go off. I think he's the best deep threat in football. Y'all saw the SI, I'm sure. Malcolm Floyd against New England. And Sankey against the New York Jets. Jonathan Stewart against New Orleans for Dawn. For Jet. Tony Romo against the Bears. He's projected to go 39. I'm saying 139 because that's how much the Bears suck. Demaryius Thomas against Buffalo. Des Bryant against Chicago. I think he goes for 112 points himself. I'm going to give the pick to Third Down for What? All right, so that's it. Only 2 games. The first round buys go to the number 1 and number 2 team. That's Alex and Ryan. Good job, fellas. We'll see you all next week. Have a good week. So long.